What's up with it? I'm back at it with another one. Still waiting on this plane. So, I'm doing these back to back. The second fight I want to talk about on this card. Before I say that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Support me. I support back. Like I say, if you're interested in boxing content, betting content, on boxing, tap in with me. I'm going to be having plenty of videos coming your way. So let's get into it. Hamzah Sheeraz versus Edgar Berlanga. Now, this is tricky, but this is what I'm going to say. I think Hamzah Sheeraz beats Edgar Berlanga. I do. I really do. Don't get me wrong, though. Edgar Berlanga's game is not going to be just an easy win, in my opinion. It could potentially be. It depends on how he comes out. But the reason why I'm picking Hamzah Sheeraz is because simply, as simple as it is, I just feel like, apart from Canelo, I mean, he's fought tougher guys. You know what I mean? He's fought punchers. He's fought guys and stopped guys that bring the same tool set as Edgar. Edgar was known for getting knockouts. I think people forget that. When he first started, he was on a knockout spree, and that knockout spree carried over, and it's still that anticipation, like, okay, will he get the knockout? Will he get the knockout? And I think that's what is driving him into these fights, is the fact that they think that that person's gonna come back, and it can. It definitely can. He can knock Hamzah Sheeraz out. I just don't see it. I really don't see it. I see Hamzah. I hope I'm saying his name right, but I see him, for one, staying disciplined, using his range, and he even did it against and he questionably lost that fight. But one thing about it is that he stayed disciplined. Carlos Adames, in my opinion, is a better fighter than Edgar Berlanga, and that was a close fight. He didn't just get beat up. If he lost, if he questionably lost, it was a close loss. But you take someone like Emma Williams, what he did to Emma Williams. This could very well look just similar to Emma Williams, minus the knockout. I don't see him knocking out Edgar. It could happen. A stoppage could happen. But I don't see him just hurting and destroying Edgar like that. I see him winning, and I see him winning by a wide margin. But I don't see it being like brutal. I don't see it being, I see it being very competitive, especially in the early rounds. But I feel like his activity is what's gonna win him the fight. His activity. I feel like he's gonna throw more punches than Berlanga. I feel like he's gonna utilize the jab better than Berlanga. I feel like he's gonna utilize the distance better than Berlanga. And I feel like it's gonna get to a point in the fight where Berlanga is looking for that big one punch. And I feel like that's what's gonna cook him. I feel like that is gonna open up the gate for the basics of Hamzah Sheeraz to shine. The jab, the 1-2, you know what I mean? Body work, simple shit, not even nothing, simple stuff, not even nothing crazy, just simple boxing. I feel like it's gonna beat Edgar Berlanga. I don't feel like he has to knock him out. I don't feel like he has to pull a whole bunch of tools out of you know what I mean? Good defense and effective offense is what's gonna win this. And I feel like the height is gonna make a difference. Now, what I will say is this: we're gonna find out, because Berlanga's gonna touch his chin. We're gonna give him that. We're gonna find out if the power is real, because I'm not gonna put it past Berlanga to go out there and just clean him and put him to sleep. But I feel like that's his only path to victory, is if he goes out there and puts him to sleep. If he doesn't go out there and put him to sleep, I feel like Hamzah will be able to give him a boxing lesson, just in the sense of the basics. And that's why I keep emphasizing the basics, because I don't want people to get caught up in in a performance like similar like the David Benavidez, where you're pulling out 6, 7, 8 punch combos. You know what I'm saying? Where you're throwing 4, 5, 3, 2, 3 uppercuts at one. No, I don't see that. I don't even see him really utilizing that many punches. I feel like the jab and the 1-2 is what's going to be his money maker in body work. You know what I'm saying? It don't even got to be strong body shots, just hook to the body. You know, the punches that we really don't consider to be that effective is the punch that's gonna win him the fight. I also can see him potentially stopping him, but it won't be. I don't know. The reason why is because Berlanga has heart. You know, that's one thing that we gotta give him. We can say what we want about him. He has heart, a lot of it. You know what I mean? And he's in his hometown. I mean, that may not make a difference necessarily, but he's going to be carrying a chip on his shoulder because he's in his hometown. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of people there watching. Fat Joe going to be there. You know what I mean? Fat Joe's a big supporter of him. Fat Joe going to be there to watch. And I feel like that right there will keep him in the fight. But I feel like I say, Hamzah is going to be playing it very, very safe. Sheeraz, I'm going to just say Sheeraz. Sheeraz is going to be playing it safe because he knows the power that Berlanga has. We don't know if it can knock him out, but we can almost guarantee that he can hurt him. We don't know if he can knock him out cold. We don't know that, but we know he can hurt him. We know he at least got enough power to hurt him, change the tone of the fight, get a knockdown, you know. So with that, I feel like he's going to be very cautious, which is going to open up the gate for Berlanga to have to feel like he has to close that distance. And Hamzah Sheeraz, or Sheeraz, just has just the basics. The basic jab. The jab alone will win him rounds. And I feel like towards the end of the fight is when it's going to get, I say middle to end of the fight is when it's going to get interesting, because you're going to find Berlanga more aggressive, in my opinion, because I feel like in the early rounds, I feel like Sheeraz is going to bank a lot of early rounds off of him. And it's going to lead to a point where it's the corner is starting to tell Berlanga, hey, you know, we need more activity. We need more punches from you. We need you to close the distance. We need this punch. We need that punch. And as the rounds go on, it's going to go from we need more activity to we need a knockout. Now, that's what I will say. We don't know if Sheeraz can take Berlanga's power. So this fight will be determined mainly off of how he handles his power. Because if Berlanga can hurt Sheeraz, especially if he can hurt him early, it's going to dictate the whole fight. If he hurts Sheeraz early, scratch everything I just said. But I just don't see it. I see Sheeraz staying disciplined, and I feel like his corner, his coaches right now are hammering discipline. That's what's going to win him the fight, in my opinion. Aggression, combinations, yes, but the discipline and the basics is what's going to get him to the victory. I feel like on Berlanga's behalf, you know, I feel like Berlanga is going to have to apply pressure to him and close that distance, make him uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Make him uncomfortable. Get closer, get in to where those punches don't have as much oomph on him because how tall he is. You know? Get from the end of the punch. Stay off the end of those punches. If Berlanga can close the distance and work effectively on the inside, breaking down to the body, that body work for Berlanga is going to be key. That's what's going to open up the head for him. If Berlanga can get inside, beat that body up, you know what I mean? Similar to what Ajit did to Zhang. Similar breakdown to that. Break that body down, then open up the head from the body. Beautiful. But it's going to be a tall task, because he got a tall opponent in front of him, and like I say, he's disciplined. Will he be disciplined that night? We don't know. But I'm going off of what I've seen and what I've been watching. I don't see Sheeraz being a big crazy puncher or anything of that nature, but I do see him being technically sound, you know, and utilizing what his skill set brings. He's tall, he's long, he's lengthy, and he's gonna keep Berlanga at the end of them punches. If he can't, he's getting knocked out, in my opinion. He's gonna get stopped. Because if he can't keep Berlanga at the end, he may, you know, he may take warners. He's not going to be able to take him the whole night. I don't care who you are. You're not going to be taking haymakers from a puncher. At the end of the day, Berlanga still is a puncher. We just don't know if he's a puncher at this level. The opposition he was fighting before, he was a puncher. We don't know if he's a puncher with this opposition, but we know he got power. We know he got the power to hurt somebody. So it may not be back then. It was 1, 2, you know what I'm saying, punches. After a few rounds of taking big punches like that, Sheeraz will break down if he can close that distance. I don't feel like he's going to close the distance. I don't. And I also feel like that Canelo fight is hurting him more than it's benefiting him. Because every fight is different. Just because you went 12 with Canelo, I mean, you're going to last 12 with this guy. Styles make fights. Every fight is different. Every fighter is different. So I feel like that Canelo fight that he's holding on to, oh, I seen in the face-off, you know. I told him I'm right here and this and that. I mean, no disrespect, you still lost. And you lost almost every round. You got knocked down. You just didn't get knocked out. You just didn't get knocked out. And I give him his credit, you know. Since he didn't get knocked out, it's hard to pick him to get knocked out. But I can see him getting outclassed. That I can see. No guarantee you're going to get knocked out, but I can see him getting outclassed for sure. So my prediction on this fight is Hamzah Sheeraz by unanimous decision, potential late stoppage. If Berlanga's going to knock him out, it's going to have to be, I want to say early, but at the same time, I feel like the only way Berlanga knocks him out is if, you know, he has a lapse in his fundamental game, and lapse in his fundamentals or a lapse in his game plan. I feel like his game plan coming out is going to be to keep him at the end of the punches, outwork him, and utilize his reach. If he doesn't come out and do that effectively, Berlanga's going to be able to get inside and land I'm not going to say a lot, but he's going to land some effective punches that can change the course of the fight. But like I say, he has to get inside first. That's the key. He has to break that distance. If he can't break the distance, it's over. That's my opinion. That's my pick. Y'all tap in with me. Like, comment, subscribe for more boxing content. I'm at the airport right now, so background ain't all too crazy, you know. It's just, you know, kind of, I'm waiting on this plane to get here. But like I say, tap in with me. Like, comment, subscribe. I got more boxing content coming on the way.